What's up, my fellow net dwellers? Couch Command here, and we're doing another 5 amazing mods. For this video, we're taking a look at mods that work for the Gamepass version of Greedfall. Quick disclaimer, due to the nature of Gamepass, the mod slot updater won't work due to permissions, and the same goes for any other mod that requires a true install of additional information or an executable to be run, like Reshade. Make sure you parry then stab that like button, let me know in the comments which mod was your favorite, and subscribe for more weekly modding content. Now let's jump into it. Have you ever been to the merchant in the game, find something you really desperately want, but you just can't afford it, don't have the gold available, capital's just not in there for you? Well, the absolutely cheap equipment mods gotcha by following a ideology similar to the dollar store. Basically, most of the equipment's reduced down to $1. You might have to pay a little extra for some of the better stuff, but you're never going to be paying more than a couple of gold for any of the items in the game. All you got to do is come up to the merchant once you've got it installed.
Have you seen it?
Go ahead and go to buy. And just like that, all these blue items are priced at 1 gold. Well, full gold for a couple. But fractions of what they normally sell for. All these should be selling up in 20, 30 gold or more range. But now they're just cheap, easy things for you to buy. But that is what the absolutely cheap equipment mod does. It makes the game affordable for anyone's budget. So for anybody who doesn't feel like waiting for the end of game content to unlock end of game weapons, or anybody who just wants to, you know, have a little more stable inventory with the traders, the all items with all merchants from start of game is the mod for you. However, there is a caveat. I currently have the mod installed. If I come up to this trader, because I have already talked to this trader before, I talked with him first to show off the cheap inventory mod. You notice it didn't load. Now, if I actually go just back a little bit in time to this quick save here, you'll notice, you know, was less than 30 minutes ago. Which was before I actually discovered this trader. You'll notice I haven't exited the game, done any movie magic, none of that stuff. Still just completely normal. We come right back up to the trader.
Excellency. It is.
And this time, we have all of the golds available. So this mod has issues if you've already discovered the traders, but if you haven't discovered a trader yet, you will gain access to every single item in the game. From gold down to silver. Same for guns, clothing, cloaks, you name it, it's all available. I highly recommend you combine the absolutely cheap equipment mod with the all items available from merchants from start of game, because then not only will they all be available, they'll all be relatively affordable. So you can deck yourself out in the best gear you can imagine relatively early on. You ever manage to get some really legendary loot from an enemy you managed to slay, only to realize you're nowhere near the attributes you need to actually be able to use the item? And potentially it's all the way down a chain of items that you haven't leveled up at all, and you're never going to be able to use it, or at least not with your current build. Well, whenever that's the case, the Equipment No Requirements is the mod for you. What it does is it removes the requirements for all the equipment you've got in your inventory. So let me enter my inventory real quick. First of all, my character is a grand total of level 5. With no real stat points allocated to anything. However, with this mod, I can come in here, and this legendary Saber of the People, I can use. I definitely should be able to use it. I can, though. While I'm at it, let's go ahead and use the Peacemaker from the Far East. Let's go with a relentless flintlock. The Inquisitor's hat. Grand Divine Protection. Fine Cape of the Guards. Inquisitor's Bishop Ceremonial Robe. Gauntlets of the Warrior King. And we're going to do the Ceremonial Boots of St. Matthias. So I now have basically all legendaries, all in-game equipment equipped at level 5. With some really cool weapons to boot. Like that sword. Or that club? Is that a club? I think that's a club. That looks like a club. Or a really fancy pistol. So yeah, that is the Equipment No Requirements mod. It is a really breaking mod, especially if you've combined it with the all items available from merchants. Be aware this mod won't work with the absolutely cheap items. You can use the absolutely cheap items to buy all the stuff you want first, but you're going to have to replace the absolutely cheap items mod with this mod for it to work. They both use the same file, the item file. As a result, you can really only have one or the other. For those of you who are tired of the basic combat in the game, want to add some improvements, want to have a little better AI, and want to have a little more control over your own AI, the Fight Like Your Life Depends on It mod is for you. This mod adds in the ability to control your own character's AIs. For instance, if you come over to... Anyway, sorry about that. If you come into this guy here, you can go to the mod settings here to be able to edit the actual items. You can tweak it yourself, or you can toggle their stats multipliers and some features and some difficulty scaling. Like health regeneration, all that stuff. And multipliers. Or you can use their default settings by enabling all default options, or you can disable and only change the AIs. This mod also affects the enemies you're going to fight. Let me go find somebody to fight real quick.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go.
There we go. But yeah. So that's the Fight Like Your Life Depends on mod. You don't get quite the feel of it because I do have all in-game loot thanks to one of the other mods I've got on there. But it does improve the AI and improves your own AI as well. So for anybody who wants to rely on the strength in numbers motif, the increase or decrease party size is the mod for you. Or I guess also if you want to make the game a little more difficult. So what you can do is come up to any of your companions.
Do you need something?
Mod change party size. You can say, I want 2 people, 3, and go up to 4. So, or everyone, I guess. So you really can dynamically change your party size to include all of your characters following you around. So you have 5 numbskulls going and attacking whatever. Or you can just have 4, 3, or in the event that you want something a little more challenging, you can have 1. But let's go ahead and do 3. Now that we've set the mod to 3, we should be able to compose our team. And we can add Kurt here to our team. And now we should have all 4 characters available to move, or all 3 characters available to move with us. As I said, you can go up to 5 with this mod, or, well, you can go up to everyone, but you also can drop it down where you can only have 1 companion. So you really can use this mod to increase, decrease the difficulty however you like as far as that goes. Be aware this mod does not work with the other mod I did, which was the Fight for Your Life, due to the conflicting dialogue changes. So just be aware you got to pick one or the other. You can either increase the AIs and have some more AI settings, or you can have a horde of boneheads going around and picking all your battles for you. It's up to you. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any suggestions on other games or mods that you'd like to see on the channel, please message me on Twitter at CouchCommand, that's CouchCMD, or feel free to join the Discord and hit me up there. Links up at the top of my channel page. Don't forget to parry, then blast that like button. Make sure you tell me in the comments which mod was your favorite, and subscribe for more weekly modding content. This was CouchCommand. You all have a good night, a great tomorrow, and an amazing rest of the week. I'll see you next time.